Welcome back, everybody, to the Pittsburgh Pirates franchise. We ended the last video at 29 and 30, where we called up Sung-Chae Chang, and I want to get a look at him right away. So we're going to enter into this game against the San Diego Padres. It's the top of the second. First time Sung-Chae Chang is going to be seeing Major League level competition. And we're going against Dylan Cease. What a way to begin your MLB career. And what a challenge to start with Dylan Cease. We'll watch that fastball at the very top of the zone. Sung-Chae Chang signed out of Chinese Taipei. I don't know that I'm familiar with any other player that's been signed from there, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty distinct. And we'll watch that one. That's a pretty good take at 99 inside the zone. Now, as this series begins to move forward and we start to get a little more long-term, and that is brought to left field by Chang, and it's brought down. As we start to progress, like I said, I wanted to move quicker here in Season 1, and so we already started by cutting out some of these scouting screens just to make progress a little more seamless. A lot of those are going to be redundant as we region scout as well. So I will be recapping when we get to the draft some of the top players. I don't want it to be a every time that we scout we update or every single player. I literally have looked at a couple hundred players by the time the draft comes around every year. So to follow that much information on guys who will not ultimately end up in our franchise, I do feel like the better way to go is to kind of modify the content that I'm putting forward with the scouting progress. I know that's kind of off topic for the debut here of Sung-Chae Chang, but it got me thinking about it because the younger guy coming up through the ranks and then making his debut, something that I really hope to see. Oh, wow, that got loud as the Padres win. Something that I really hope to see moving forward more often. I would love to see these draft picks show up for us and eventually develop into guys that we can build these storylines around. And Sung-Chae Chang is hopefully going to be our shortstop here for the future, at least for the time being. He's going to be after we traded away Isaiah Kiner for Lefa. So we'll enter into Game 2 here, and I want to show the offense last series. An average of 172 and an OPS of 518 and averaging half a run per game. That's really bad, but here in the bottom of the fifth with Sung-Chae Chang, we get our first opportunity that I'm going to show, and that is a ground out. So still no luck as far as the first Major League hit. Now we're in the bottom of the eighth, losing by 2 to the Houston Astros. And I will also be going over some stats today for some players as we progress through and we're getting close to the halfway point of the season. I think it's important to update everybody on where the guys are at, both for position players and for pitchers. We move over to a new game against the Astros, and bottom of the first with 2 outs, Chang will weakly ground to third base.
1-1.
Okay. It's got to come sometime, and I'm determined to get it. We're in the bottom of the fourth now.
Ball.
Ooh, we get a friendly call there for ball 2. Chang trying to show the discipline. He's got a decent vision rating. I don't remember off the top of my head what the discipline is. And there it is! That's our first hit with Sung-Chae Chang. A line drive into left field. Nothing too fancy or flashy, but that is worth celebrating. The first Major League hit for Sung-Chae Chang. Congratulations, kid. We'll go ahead and finish out this game. We're in the bottom of the eighth now. Man on first, tied. And Chang ahead 2-0.
Ball
2-0.
3.
Okay, takes that into the dirt, and now it is 3-0. So we might get something good here. Chang is going to be ready for it from Brian Abreu. And here it comes. Nope, on the outer edge of the zone. And they're going to try to. Chang has got some wheels, though. He's got decent speed and will prevent the double play. We do go on to win Game 2 versus the Astros. And in Game 3, we try to sim. There's a critical situation. I think that we're just going to skip this one. And yes, we do defeat the Astros 4-3. So that's pretty cool. We end up taking the series versus Houston. And we're 31-32 now going into the series against Philadelphia. And they are 39-23. We've matched up with them a few times now. And wow, top of the 10th with 1 out, Clevenger with 2 men on trying to hang on. Let's go ahead and get here. We're ahead 0-2 against Weston Wilson. And Clevenger has been a really good pickup for us. We got him early in the season after that conversation with Donnie Baseball. And I like Clevenger as well. I've had him in a few of my franchises independently. The flip over from Gonzalez to Triolo, and we get the double play. That is awesome. I love good defense. And now we'll have a chance to walk it off in the bottom of the 10th. Tie game at 2-2, so low offensive production from both teams. And that's hit from Sawinski. It's stopped at second, and he's able to leg out the single. So men on the corners now. We're very near to walking it off against one of the best teams. I do want to pinch run Sung-Chae Chang. Again, with his speed, he's got a 78 speed rating, so it is above average. He's got 48 steal, but I'm not going to try to do that right now. And Frazier weakly grounds it, and that's the worst outcome there. A double play, and we have to hold the runner at third. So now there's 2 outs for Key Brian Hayes, who is 0 for 3 today. And we're behind in the count 0-2. Contact is made and lifted up into right field, but that will be a casual out number 3. And we will move into inning number 11. We're leaving Clevenger out there because he showed a lot of good stuff, and that's the wrong base entirely. Yeah, nearly had him there. Good job. I don't know what happened. I hit the wrong button. I didn't think about it. And now, man on third, and JT Real Muto is going to bring that deep into center field, and even with a good arm, Cruz is not going to be able to stop 98 speed from getting home. Yeah, just not even close. A stand-up run in, and Philadelphia has taken the lead. We get out of the top of the 11th there, and Orion Kerkering is going to be brought back in. This guy's a permanent thorn in our side as far as the bullpen for Philadelphia goes. And with the man on second, Cruz is ahead in the count, 3-1, and takes ball 4 above the zone. So we've got 2 men on now, the go-ahead run, represented by Cruz at first base, and Jared Triolo, who has been really, really consistent as a backup player and only recently been given an actual spot, and that will get down into center field. We're going to send the runner. Only 39 speed, and he's there. Triolo with a single and an RBI to tie the game. Still, nobody out now, and Brian Reynolds at the plate. Our number 3 spot hitter. And let's try a double steal. O'Neal Cruz going to third is going to be tagged out. He can't get there, so we now just have the regular extra inning position of a runner on second base. 1 out now. And now we're tied up in knots on the sweeper. I accidentally hit X to skip the injury screen, but Kerkering, I guess, was injured there, and they're going to bring in Jordan Romano instead. Was it next because I thought it was going to like a cutscene or, you know, the broadcast option? And no! Good timing on that. Nearly perfect, but weak contact as Reynolds is under it to lift it in shallow center field. And we are 1 out away from stranding that runner and pushing 12 innings. And here we go. Wouldn't you know it, it's Spencer Horwitz back again every time. Oh, well, they'll intentionally walk him, and we'll cue the chicken noise here at PNC Park. I guess Nick Gonzalez is going to get the opportunity. 2 on, 2 out, and it's 0-1. And he is under that. Weak contact on a just late swing, and that's brought in. So here we go again, deep into extras. And we're going to bring in Hunter Harvey in this situation. Top of the 12. We need somebody to close it down and hold them, and I think that Harvey is usually good enough to do that. A hard hit ball to third base played by Hayes, and we've got our first out. Runner remains on second base. So really good outcome there, not a productive out. Runner going for third, the throw over, and we cannot get him there. He is saved. Bryce Harper at the plate now, very near to drawing in Trey Turner. And that will do it for sure. Reynolds running for it, and he's not going to get there. It is a ground rule double, and the Phillies have taken the lead in the top of the 12th. Kyle Schwarber at the plate, and he'll miss on that 12 curve from Harvey. Really good breaking ball there for the second out. Now Alec Bohm is at the plate, and Triolo is going to play that at short. Bohm is out, and now we've got to mount the comeback one more time. All right. Man on second, N.D. Rodriguez at the plate, and the count is 2-1 against Romano. And we get that over, and oh, it's stopped at second on the dive. The runner advances to third, so we can still tie it. Josh Palacios is going to have to come through for us, though, and it's 2-1 against him. 1 out for Romano. He's been a pretty good reliever every time that I've faced him, and there we go. Palacios to center field. We're sending him home. He's got lots of speed, and no, they got him! The perfect throw from center field, and the Phillies close it down to win. Romano gets the save. or the win, rather, actually. Wow, that hurts. Okay, so a closely contested game for Game 1. Game 2, not close. We lose 3-7. That one hurts. Let's see how the boys did. We got 8 hits, 2 walks, and 7 strikeouts. Reynolds a 2 for 4 day. Triolo a 2 for 3 day. Couple single hit days for some of the other guys. And Heaney had a very tough game to balloon his ERA over 5. Clevenger, Majinski did good, but Kyle Nicholas did not. So now we are 3-7 in our last 10. We are still third place, just above the Reds at 31 and 34, but it's starting to look just a little more concerning. We do prevent the sweep. We win in Game 3, 3-2. And now versus the Marlins, a critical situation where we are down by 1. And yeah, let's go ahead and go in. Anthony Bender's on the mound, and wow, league leader in saves. He is listed there, tied for third place with 18, somewhere among the greats there. Wow, okay, so this should be tough. Bottom of the 9th, 1 out, and O'Neill Cruz at the plate. And that's a perfect hit. It goes deep to right center field, and it's gone. Cue the fireworks. O'Neill Cruz has walked it off. Wow. What a laser beam line drive home run that was, and that is awesome. It always feels good to walk it off with a home run. And O'Neill Cruz is going to get the celebration at home plate. Congratulations. That is awesome. So we strung 2 wins together now, and here in Game 2, we win again, 3-1, and it was Bailey Falter that got it. And Shane Boz is going to be out during today's game for a few days. Okay, we'll keep him active. And we actually shut them out in Game 3, so we sweep Miami. We've got 4 in a row now, and I want to see how far Shane Boz went. Nick Gonzalez today with a 3 for 4 outing. That's awesome. Brian Reynolds 2 for 3. And Shane Boz went, wow, 7 1/3 with only 2 hits, 10 strikeouts, and his ERA is a 2.70. Bednar took over, and then Holderman gets save number 13. But wow, 4 games in a row feels pretty good. And a 1-5 loss against Chicago does not. So we're back to 500. But Chicago leading the division and having been on top. Wow, Clevenger here has walked all 3 guys on base. Oh, my goodness. All right, so PCA's going to step to the plate. I was going to say, Chicago has been one of the best teams in the division pretty much since the start of the year. So a loss against them is not really heartbreaking. And PCA is going to squeeze that bunt, and Chicago has done it. Wow. All right, well, that was a little too easy. I don't like going down without feeling like we gave a fight, but that's what some of the best teams will do to you. Mitch Keller is no longer injured, so that's great. We can bring him back into the rotation. And against Chicago, we are down by 1 in the top of the 8th. Now let's go ahead and sim there. And yeah, they remain ahead 2-1, and they defeat us there. So we've lost 3 out of 4 so far against Chicago. Jerry Jones took the loss today in Game 3. Oh, boy. What are we going to do? All right, well, let's update on the stats here. So I want to look at home runs. It's Spencer Horwitz first, and then O'Neill Cruz with 11, Brian Reynolds with 7. And for RBIs, it is still Spencer Horwitz leading at 44, ahead significantly of O'Neill Cruz and Ke'Bryan Hayes as the top 3. So Spencer Horwitz has been the unexpected delight for us so far, except when I'm controlling him, as we've said over and over again. O'Neill Cruz with the most stolen bases is not a surprise. He's got 17, getting some decent development, but losing power against lefties. For the average, Josh Palacios is at the top technically, but he doesn't have that many plate appearances. So Spencer Horwitz and Jared Triolo and Ke'Bryan Hayes at 291 are the top 3 real average leaders as far as everyday players. For OBP, it is still Spencer Horwitz. So I think right now Spencer is our MVP. He also leads in slugging. Yeah, so nearly every offensive category, Spencer Horwitz is at the top. Jared Triolo has been really delightful as a backup guy, kind of where we need him. He's getting good development across the board, really great defense. And yeah, look at that. 295 average, 354 OBP, and 477 slugging through 36 games that he's made his appearances. That is awesome. No surprise that Spencer Horwitz leads the OPS, and O'Neill Cruz is leading our strikeouts, and he's only got 43 vision, as I just put the triangle up there to show. Nick Gonzalez has 8 errors right now, and that's really not good. His fielding is not really bad. I mean, maybe the arm is the problem, but you look at these and that's very acceptable for a major league level guy, especially a 75 overall C potential. For WAR, it's O'Neal Cruz leading at a 2.7 with a big lead over Brian Hayes at 1.8. Spencer Horwitz right behind him at 1.7. On the opposite end of the WAR, Adam Frazier is leading the negative side with a 0.4 negative. And I'm not really sure why he's having so much trouble, but he is. We'll move over to the pitcher side, and Paul Skeens and Andrew Heaney are tied with 5 for wins. Paul Skeens leading with 93 innings pitched. For base on balls, Shane Baz is leading right now, but he is getting good development there. He's got a +2, so he is still improving in that category despite leading us right now. And let's see, recent games. Yeah, he's looked really good. Through 56 innings, he's only walked 21 guys, so that is really low. So maybe everyone else is just doing exceptional. For strikeouts, Paul Skeens, not surprising at 86. He's the leader. For ERA, I wanted to look, and David Bednar with 40 innings pitched has a 2.01 ERA. That is absolutely phenomenal. The Bednar renaissance is fully here and in effect. I love it. It's been awesome to see. He's only given up 2 home runs in 40 innings, 12 walks, and 41 strikeouts. He has been absolutely phenomenal and lights out. Garrett Clevenger, who I did briefly praise earlier, he's been a great pickup for us. He's getting some development in some important categories, and through 42 innings, he has a 2.36 ERA. He's given up 4 home runs, 22 walks, and 35 strikeouts, but performing very well consistently. Dennis Santana is kind of flying under the radar for me, but he is also performing very well, and I really like to see that +3 development for K per 9 and home runs per 9, and his stats recently are very good as well. 30 innings pitched and a 2.7 ERA, only 2 home runs given up. So that's pretty good. Shane Baz below him at a 2.7 ERA. We've talked over and over about him now. Paul Skeens at a 3.10. That's come up just a little bit. Bailey Falter at a 3.16 ERA is pretty good and better than my impression. If you were to ask me without looking at stats how Bailey Falter was doing, I wouldn't have said it was this good, but it turns out that he is actually doing well. He gets lots of contact, which is where those home runs come in, but he's only walked 20 guys. He's also only struck out 23. So Bailey Falter is kind of up and down, but mostly up. Mitch Keller, we've lost to an injury over the last few weeks, but he's still getting good development, and I expect when he is now getting back into the regular mix of things that he will do very well and continue his excellent year so far. 62 innings pitched in a 3.59 ERA. That is very good. I'll take it. All right, so quality starts. Paul Skeens has 10 of them. Shane Baz has 8. Jared Jones has 7. Let's take a look at, blown saves. It is Colin Holderman, and we moved him to the closer position. I just really like that high clutch rating, and that's ideal for a closer, and so we tried him. He's got 13 saves, 7 of them blown, and a 4.81 ERA, so he has definitely struggled lately, but he was really, really good when we first switched him over. For pitching, Paul Skeens leads the WAR at 1.9, and then Jared Jones has a solid 1. And I wanted to highlight really the change that I was going to make in reference to like the errors from Adam Frazier. He's currently DHing. Nick Gonzalez was the error king. So we moved him to DH. We took out Frazier and we put Triolo in as the everyday second baseman from now on. So let's try to not get swept by Chicago in Game 4. Mitch Keller's first game back. Shane Baz is no longer injured, so that's pretty cool. And there we go. A 5-0 victory in Game 4 to prevent the sweep. And Shane Baz is back in the rotation. Mitch Keller is back in the rotation. And now we should be moving forward. All wheels rolling. We have a series against Detroit and a critical situation right away. It is actually a tie game at 0 in the top of the 8th, and we've got the bases loaded for Spencer Horwitz. Dare I try it again? Absolutely. One of these days, I'm going to get a hit with them, and I'm going to be so happy. And we swing there, and it is directly to him in center field. So, not today, not yet. Sorry, Spencer. Going to keep bringing your average down. All right, now bases loaded and 2 outs for Brian Reynolds. Can we get any progress here? Swinging on the first pitch, and it's a bloop over to left, and that does fall down, and we will score 2 off the Brian Reynolds single. There we go. That's what I was looking for out of Spencer Horwitz, but Brian Reynolds getting it is just as good. I'll take it. The Tigers bring in Jason Foley, who threw 31 innings, has a 2.9 ERA. That's pretty good. And it's 0-2 against Key Brian Hayes now, with men on first and second.
1-2.
We'll watch that sinker way inside. 1-2 now for Key Brian Hayes. And defending the zone from that sinker. We had good timing on it, just to foul it away.
2-2.
Watch ball 2 inside, making him work. And there we go. That was a slider. That was a good one to hit, and we had good timing. We could only foul it. We'll defend the top of the zone there. Come on. Okay, fouled again. That's pitch number 8. Really making a battle out of it.
Full count.
We'll watch ball 3. That was pitch number 9. Fouled. Pitch 10. Oh my gosh. Fouled. That was 11. How many times are we going to do this, Foley? Fouled away again. That's 12. 12 pitches in this at-bat. That's ridiculous. I haven't seen a battle this long in a while. And there's 13, and it does weakly get through into center field. Send that runner. I thought maybe they were going to get him. No, Key Brian Hayes instead has a single and an RBI, and now we're up 3-0 for Jared Triolo. The count is 1-1, 2 outs still. And contact from Triolo into right field, and that will be brought down. But we do pick up a 3 spot here in the top of the 8th. Go ahead and sim the rest of this, and yes, we do hang on to finish the game and beat the Tigers. That's nice. All right, so that was the first game. Second game, we have Andrew Heaney on the mound for us, and that is a loss. But look, Bubba Chandler's eligibility reinstated. He's going to be injured for a few more days, but I do want to go ahead and activate him, get him on the bench. So that is exciting news. Bubba Chandler is back, everybody. He's got a few more days to go. But the AAA rotation, let's take a look real quick on how they're doing. Grant Ford's getting some development. As the number 1 right now, he's got a 2.31 ERA over 50 innings. He started in 10 games and has 5 wins. Only given up 2 home runs in that time. That's pretty good. Thomas Harrington is a guy that we've been watching and that I noted, was probably going to be important in this franchise. Mild development, but unfortunately through 70 innings, he's been very bad at 5.35 ERA. So when Bubba Chandler comes back, I think Harrington's going down to AA just to help him out with his development. Braxton Ashcraft has got some decent development, but he's also doing bad. A 73 innings pitched and a 5.42 ERA. So not good for 2 and 3 there. Mike Burrows has shown some really promising development there, bringing his overall up to a 65. And his stats right now are looking very good. 75 innings pitched, only 3 home runs allowed, and a 3.81 ERA. So really reliable there at number 4. Carson Fulmer, age 31 and a 70 overall, is still getting some decent development, so that is nice to see, and that's pretty encouraging. He's got a 2.64 ERA over 71 innings, so that is actually awesome. He has given up 8 home runs, so that's ballooned that ERA. He's actually been better than what that even shows. Joey Wentz, since being sent down to AAA, is getting good development. A +3 to his home runs per 9 rating is really encouraging to see. And that's what you want when you send a guy down that needs some help. He's got a 2.87 ERA over 31 innings. So yeah, Joey Wentz is precisely where he needs to be right now. Brennan Malone is also seeing some really good development across most categories and a 2.15 ERA over 54 innings pitched. That is awesome to see out of a young 24-year-old, 64 overall. Hunter Stratton is seeing some negatives, though, and he's got deep potential. He's a 68 overall. I feel like he's just handicapped by that potential. Despite that, though, a 1.07 ERA over 33 innings pitched. That is phenomenal. He is overperforming very much right now. And then Brett, how do you say that? Brett DeGeis? I don't know. He's getting limited development. Hopefully I don't have to talk about him much because I can't pronounce his name. Only 16 innings pitched in relief, but he's got a 2.70 ERA, so he's doing pretty damn good, I would say. And who else is here? Sturzalecki, Sturzalecki, probably how you pronounce that. Good development in home runs per 9, and a 1.59 ERA over 28 innings. So AAA has got actually some really good relievers that we could call up if we needed to, if we get into that situation. So like I said, Harrington, I've got high expectations for because he's got a B potential. And despite his 66 overall, he's not performing well at AAA. Bubba Chandler has been activated, so we need to make room. So he's going to go back down to AA against lower competition, and he should be able to develop a little better down there. That will do it for this episode. I know that was a little quick, but at 37 and 38, we'll end it today. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next episode.